Good morning. It's Monday, November 9th. And here are your My name is Kira, and here are your announcements for today. Please stand for the playing and signing of O Canada by our grade 6 class and remain standing afterwards for a moment of silence in honor of our veterans. A reminder that there are no classes on Wednesday because of Remembrance Day. Here are two videos we would like you to watch to commemorate Remembrance Day.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow between the crosses row on row
that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly.
Scarce heard amid the guns below.
We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt on, saw sunset glow.
Love and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields.
Take up our quarrel with the foe.
To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high.
If ye break faith with us who die.
We shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Hi everyone, my name is Harjeet Sajan, Minister of National Defence for Canada, and I wanted to deliver a short message to you before you watch this great Veterans Week video. I know this has been a tough 8 months for all of us, and I wanted to thank you for doing your part to stop the spread of COVID-19. On Remembrance Day, we remember the bravery of our veterans, and we reflect on the sacrifices they made to fight for our freedom and defend Canada. This is also a time to think of the people who are serving in the Canadian Armed Forces today, so that our country, our values, and our way of life are well defended. They are the veterans of tomorrow. I hope that you enjoy hearing more about our veterans and that you share what you have learned with those around you, lest we forget.
Hello, I'm a member of the Canadian Armed Forces, and I am proud to join a number of my colleagues in this video and share our story with you today. Like all members of the military, my job is to keep you and Canada safe. On Remembrance Day, we remember Canadian sailors, soldiers, and aviators who have risked or even lost their lives so we could live with freedoms, in peace, and enjoying our Canadian way of life. We remember those Canadians who left their families, friends, and communities during times of conflict and war for months or even years at a time to fight for freedom and for peace. They did so and continue to do so, knowing that they may never come home again.
Picture yourself in the 1940s, walking for hours, carrying a heavy backpack, drenched in rain or sweating through extreme heat. You haven't bathed or eaten a meal that didn't come out of a can in weeks. You dig a deep hole in the ground to catch a few hours sleep, which is often interrupted by a duty watch or an enemy attack. You are a Canadian soldier.
Feel the freezing winds and water of the Atlantic as you stand watch for enemy submarines and airplanes trying to stop you from delivering vital supplies. You may be in knee-deep water that has flooded your ship and you haven't seen land for weeks. You are a Canadian sailor.
Now you're flying through fog, clouds, and rain in the dark of night without radar. Enemy artillery shells rock your plane, test your courage. You don't know whether you'll make it back to the airfield or crash into enemy territory, but you have to continue on to drop bombs on your target. You are a Canadian aviator.
You are one of 1 million Canadians who wonder if you'll ever come home again, if you'll ever kiss your mother or hug your father again, if you'll ever grow old. 45,000 Canadians did not. They never returned from the Second World War.
On Remembrance Day, we also pay tribute to veterans of the Korean and Afghanistan wars, as well as numerous other international missions. More than 500 Canadians lost their lives in Korea, and 158 Canadian Armed Forces members did not come back from Afghanistan. Many who returned carried the consequences of war with them, battling long-term physical, psychological, and emotional wounds. Despite the unimaginable challenges, generations of our bravest and best Canadians have risked their lives for our freedom. Determined to keep Canadians safe, to defend our way of life, and to try and make the world a better place. That's something we must never forget, the unimaginable heroism and great sacrifices made by our Canadian veterans.
Today, Canadian Armed Forces members continue to risk their own health and safety to protect others. While many continue to be deployed overseas on United Nations and NATO missions, others serve here at home, responding to natural disasters like floods, forest fires, and snowstorms across the country, carrying out life-saving search and rescue missions by air, ground, and sea, responding to about 1,000 search and rescue calls each year.
More recently, others put their medical training to work, helping to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Whatever and wherever the need, Canadians can count on us to keep them safe and our country safe, just as our veterans did. That's the link that ties today's military members with those who came before us. We are all part of the Canadian family, and we are all in this together. Thank you.
Be sure to get your poppies for Remembrance Day. Ask your teacher or pick one up at the office. The Poppy Campaign is one of the Royal Canadian Legion's most important programs. The money raised from the donation provides direct assistance for veterans in financial distress, as well as funding for medical equipment, medical research, home services, long-term care facilities, and many other purposes. Parent-teacher conferences are going online and on the phone this year. Please let your parents know that if they would like to set up a virtual or phone interview, they can do so on the school website conference manager from 8 a.m. on Thursday until November 12th until noon on Wednesday, November 18th. The conferences themselves will be held on Thursday, November 19th from 4 to 8 p.m. and Friday, November 20th from 9 a.m. till noon. It's almost time for picture retakes. This week on Friday, November 13th, retakes will take place for K-8s and grade 9s and 10s. Next Monday, November 16th, retakes will take place for any of the K-8s missed and the grade 11s and 12s. K-8 music program is having a poinsettia fundraiser, which runs until November 18th. Forms can be picked up from Miss Zimmerman. Morris School's virtual book fair began earlier this week and runs until November 13th. Be sure to check it out. If you would like to be a Mavericks media reporter, we are looking for students to make video stories here at Morris School or even around our community. Send us a message at mavericksmedia@rrvsd.ca. Give it a try. It's easier than you think. Finally, happy birthday to Garland Labuza in grade 6, who had a birthday on the weekend, and Nicholas LaFleur, who in grade 8, who has a birthday today. Those are all your announcements for today. Have a great start to the week.